There we go. Come, let us explore the greatest ego-releasing technique of all time. So what we're going to do is switch over to button 9. And we're going over here. So what follows is the greatest ego-releasing technique of all time. But first, what do we mean by ego? Ego simply, in this context, refers to a sense of self. So we're going to divide the explanation into 3 parts. Part 1 is going to be a review of mindfulness. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us to notice in a very special way. It helps us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. This is the opposite of concentration. Concentration takes place over here in the prefrontal cortex. Mindfulness takes place in the sympathetic nervous system. So we are wired to notice in this manner. Now, so let's turn our attention now to the second part of our explanation, meditation. Every time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release. This brings us to the third part of our explanation. We release to such a degree that what we noticed during our inhalation, during our previous inhalation, could fleetingly feel less tantalizing, less permanent, and less defining. Let's break this down. What does that mean? It means that as we relax into our exhalation, whatever we notice during our inhalation could feel as non-graspable as if it was not us. So whatever body we notice, so as we relax into our exhalation, whatever body we notice during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as if it was not us. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever mind we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as if it was not us. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sense of self we might have experienced during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was as non-graspable as if it was not us. Now you'll notice the word fleeting, so this is a temporary experience, and that's fine, because the goal of mindfulness and meditation is not to believe something or understand something. It's simply to create cooperation between our cerebral cortex and both facets of our autonomic nervous system. If there's cooperation, we can be peaceful and loving. However, if there's competition, and if our cerebral cortex is repressing these functions of our autonomic nervous system, there's going to be anxiety and aggression. I prefer peace and love. How about you? This concludes our opening lesson. We turn our attention now to the main practice. It is Luke Skywalker Friday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So what we're going to do now in preparation for meditation is draw our attention to the latest iteration of all-pervading benefit of beings, the recitation and meditation of the Great Compassionate One, composed by many centuries ago by Teng Tong Gyalpa, translated from the Tibetan into the French by Bokar Rinpoche, translated from the French into the English by Christian Boucher, adapted and amplified by yours truly. So we're going to begin by contemplating the iconography of an archetype of love's centered spontaneity. Please chant with me. Above myself and each being of the universe appears a white lotus and moon disk. On each crown appears the suitable tree which transforms into noble Chenrezig. His translucent white body emits 5-colored rays. And so now we come to our first practice of mindfulness and meditation. So let's jump right in. Let us continue with our opening chanting. If you just tuned in, this chanting is designed to remind us of the iconography of the archetype of love and letting go. Together, he smiles and looks upon us with compassion. Of his four hands the inner two all joined, the outer two of the outer to the right holds a crystal mala, and the left a white lotus. Garments and jewels adorn him, a disk and of light covers his shoulder. His back rests against an immaculate moon disk. His chest, throat, and crown symbolize the essence of all objects of Buddhist refuge. He sits in the Vajra posture, the Buddha of limitless light crowns his head. Let us now continue with mindfulness and meditation. What is the essence of mindfulness? When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. What then is the essence of meditation? When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release what we noticed during our previous inhalation, as if it was utterly non-graspable. Now let's practice a bit of the old geriatric squat thrusts for aging fitness freaks. I'm going to do a quick edit because that's how I roll. Now this is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. And I'm going to adjust the camera so to make it easier for everybody, hopefully. Button color unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Jinrei Zig, we bow to you. Lord, what in color unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your head. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Jinrei Zig, we bow to you. Lord, what in color unstained by faults, a perfect Buddha adorning your crown. You look upon all beings with eyes of compassion. Jinrei Zig, we bow to you. And again, let us meditate. Please chant with me. After reciting with enthusiasm, it is as if the body of the noble Gyatso emits light, dissipating the tyranny of jealousies, karmically impure appearances, and prize misunderstanding. May the outer world become as safely fortunate as a real or imagined pure land of bliss. With each inhalation, may the mind, speech, and body of each being become as wise, loving, and healthy as the mind, speech, and body of the archetype of love-centered spontaneity, Lord raising. With each exhalation, may sensations, cognition, sounds, and appearances feel as non-graspable as if they were one in their empty nature. Let us review the meaning. Let us review a meaning of the mantra. O I invoke the wish of healing Manu Jewel that serves as a metaphor of love, and the Pygmy Lotus of purity serving as a metaphor of release. With whom I intend may love and release be mastered by all. Let us bring the experience of the four bases of mindfulness into the conventional path of love and release, where it is love that is emphasized. And I have to do a quick edit. Please bear with me. This is page 22. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. Let's hit cut. Go back to page 22. Let's hit paste. Okay, please chant with me. May all minds of all beings know me as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a Jigme one syllable seed or bija mantra. So we're going to take all these words and compress them down to 6 syllables, which we're going to divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. One moment, if you please. Insert pictures, device, back to pictures, Buddhist yoga, Chinrazik. Let's go to Tikale. Well, I guess that's correct. Fabulous. It's nice to be correct once in a while. Okay. During our inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 6-syllable mantra. 8 times per breath. Om mani min, om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Please chant with me. One moment. As we inhale, we can notice all mind's perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings quite clearly. As we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable or void as a real or imagined bija seed syllable of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Now let us, as we breathe in, let's try this again. As we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we can vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. As we silently and mentally recite the 1-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we can physically relax and mentally release into the non-graspable nature of mind. And there's another bit of editing I must see to. And a bit of the old paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here we go. Please chant with me, and remember, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist philosophy, or Buddhist meditation, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. May all relationships, so sweet, of all beings know be as joyfully loving as a real Ramanujan Buddha's communication symbolized by the six-syllable mantra. Now it looks like this is an editing opportunity. Om Mahum Binzu Guru Me Maziri Hung 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 As we inhale our interpersonal communication, our speech could sound quite resounding. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as non-graspable, for it is a real Ramanujan mantra of light. Om Mahum Binzu Guru Me Maziri Hung Om Mahum Binzu Guru. Oops, sorry, wrong mantra. Let's try this again. Om Mani Mimi Yung 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 Om Mani mani mi mi yung. Om mani mi mi yung, 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 om mani mi mi yung. And now let us rest in the nature of mind. Or in other words, as silently and mentally we recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we could notice mind's antics. And as silently and mentally we recite the one-syllable verb is during our exhalation, we can relax into the nature of mind. I think this is the final edit. It's not, but I get points for effort. May all bodies, all forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health seen in Buddhist statuary. depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Yadam archetype of enlightenment such as Genraising. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, our bodies, our forms could feel quite sensual. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable or what is a real or imagined archetype or yodom of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, let us notice mind's antics. As we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, let us relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Please chant with me. May our circumstances or lots of all beings now have the good fortune or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, per land or Vanti. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. All right. Well, let's just keep going. And let's hit cut. Okay, all the way back. I'm going to hit paste. And now we're going to hit cut. And now paste again. 26, hopefully I'll remember that. Okay, so we're going to hit cut. And paste. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so if you've just tuned in, what we're going to do is we're going to chant something which is going to help us get better and better at letting go. Here we go. As we inhale, all circumstances or lots could appear quite vivid. That's called mindfulness. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as not graspable or void as a real or imagined paradise or vati of light. So that is the, we're using a simile to illustrate how meditation works. We're now going to take this entire bit and compress it down to just 8 syllables that we're going to divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. So quick like a bunny, I'm going to once again adjust the screen. We're going to silently and mentally recite this synopsis of 8 syllables during our inhalation. During our exhalation, we're going to physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 6-syllable mantra 8 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. And remember, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist philosophy, or Buddhist meditation, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Oh, excuse me. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. So, I'd like to give you some quick instructions for meditation. As we inhale, we could notice mind's antics. As silently and mentally we recite the demonstrative pronoun this. During our exhalation, we can physically relax into mind's non-graspable nature. As silently and mentally we recite the 1-syllable verb ease. If you have trouble reading any of these words, do let me know and I will adjust the font. Please chant with me. May my body and others' bodies be as healthy as the body of Chenrezig. May all sounds be as loving as the six-syllable melody. Oopsie. May all mental activity be as wise and free as the domain of great wisdom. By this virtue may I practice, by the virtue of this practice may I quickly master Chenrezig's enlightenment. Then totally establish in the state the totality of beings. One moment, if you please. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism may our liberation of all others be fueled by our reliance on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Let us, after sitting for the better part of an hour, we might find it refreshing to knock out a few geriatric squat thrusts. One moment, if you please. Oh, that's right. They've got to make room for the camera, don't I? Well, don't I feel silly about that now? Okay, let's see if I can't repair that. That's better. Okay. May we free all through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. You've taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 6 3/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.